Yeah. All right. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Chris, man. We are here at the Work Hard, Play Harder podcast. It is January 30th, 2024. Got a special guest that's going to be coming on with me in the building. Her name is Aysah Ashley. She is somebody who is a writer for Hidden Remote and for Netflix. She has been a blogger for many years for Comedy Sports, also for the Naperville Community Television. She went to two different schools and earned her two different degrees, an associate's and a bachelor's. So we're going to talk to her about her why. We're going to talk to her about some other things as well. And we're just going to get to know her a little bit. Obviously, coming from one writer to another. Um, I write and I also do this podcast and I also broadcast games. So just be a little interesting to get to know somebody from the same field as me. So without any further ado, I bring to you the wonderful, the talented, the beautiful Aysah Ashley. What's up with it? How we doing?
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. First off, I just want to say thank you for hopping on my podcast. I really do appreciate it. I also want to say thank you for your patience as well, rocking with me. I do appreciate that. So, how you doing tonight?
Good. I'm gonna apologize if I'm sniffling or coughing. I'm trying to keep it under control, just a little bit under the weather, but hopefully it'll be okay.
Well, listen, you look absolutely amazing. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Obviously, you probably don't feel that way, but I do hope that you feel better. I really do. And let me give you some background before I start peppering you with a lot of questions. So I reached out to you like I normally do with people that's on LinkedIn or social media sites because you're a writer, and you were a writer for, if I'm not mistaken, Hidden Remote and Netflix. And I like talking to other writers. I love hearing how they come up with their creative process. I love hearing their whys of why they come up to be writers. Um, and I also saw the fact that you did some things with comedy sports as well as an intern, which is intriguing because I've never heard of comedy sports in my life. So I definitely would love to hear about that. And we definitely gonna get into that. The fact that you went to two different schools, earned two different degrees, is also something that's intriguing as well. So I just wanted to kind of reach out to you and talk to you a little bit and get to know your why and get to know you beyond uh, your passion for writing. Because I also have a passion for writing, as me being a sports journalist myself. So I just wanted to talk to you.
No, that's awesome. You're making me sound more impressive than I am, but it was community college first and then, just finishing my degree. It was not two different schools and two different degrees. I should take it, but I gotta tell the truth.
No, you good, you good, and no question about that. We definitely gonna get into that question of school choice for sure.
Yeah.
As I always do, I start out this podcast by asking about your why. Why did you want to become a writer, a journalist, and was there anybody that inspired you or any inspirations that you had?
Yeah, it's gonna sound so cliche and cheesy, but I don't know, like when I was younger, I would always just watch like the entertainment news reporters. I love entertainment news, not really politics. So that's kind of funny going into journalism. But I'd always just watch these talk shows and like Entertainment Tonight and all of that, and I always just loved it. Um, and it was always in my mind. But like any 18-year-old, you're like, I don't really know what to do with my life. Like I have an idea, but is this really the path that I want to go down? So I went to community college first, took some time to think about it.
Hmm.
Um, and then honestly, I don't know, journalism just was always in my mind. I was really talkative when I was a kid and always asking questions. And so people were always telling my parents, like, she should go into journalism. So I guess I use my skill for asking questions and talking a lot for something useful and made it into a career. So that's really the why of it all. I don't know. I just always had a passion for it. I always liked it. I was always like, oh my God, it'd be so cool to like interview celebrities and stuff like that. And it's really a teenage childhood dream, but it just like stuck with me. So,
Yeah.
um, I guess that's where it went. And I just like talking to people and meeting new people. And you get to do that every day, sometimes, on multiple stories a day. So that was always just so fun. So when I took some media journalism classes at community college and loved it, and it just stuck with me.
I love that. I do. Entertainment is so crazy when you report on stuff like that because,
Mhm.
like you said, every day is something different. It's never the same, and that's kind of the reason why I wanted to get into journalism as well. Obviously, you do entertainment, I do sports, two different genres, but it's never the same. It's always something different every single day that we're covering or that some kind of news is coming up. So it's pretty dope to hear your why you wanted to do that because it correlates to my vision of why I wanted to do that as well.
Mhm.
School choice, right? You went to Columbia College, Chicago, in
Mhm.
Chicago. But first you went to College of, is it Dupree? Is
DuPage.
you said
College of
who?
DuPage.
Okay, so tell
Yeah.
me, tell me about those two college choices, and were there any other schools that you were considering going to?
Yeah, so College of DuPage, I always knew I was going to go to. That's our community college here. And like I said, I enjoyed it. I was like, I wish this was a 4-year school. It's so great. And my most of my professors were awesome. I enjoyed the media classes, especially like journalism classes there. So that was the choice there. I always knew I was going to start off at COD. And then Columbia is known to be like the best journalism school, I guess, in Chicago. And
Yeah,
a lot of people from out of state actually come to it as well to study journalism. Um, I was considering social work at one point because I love kids and I love helping kids. Um, but when I went into the school to like meet with the head of the department, she's just kind of like talking to me about it, telling me like you really need to be able to, separate yourself. It's very emotional. Like, are you up for it before you, really commit to this? And I don't think I would have been able to handle it like on a full-time basis. I would have just wanted to like adopt and take home everybody. So
right.
that's when I really sat down. I was like, okay, journalism was always like the number one thing in my head. So I don't know, it happened. I went to Columbia, I toured it, once I got in and all of that, and I loved it. It was awesome. I love the vibes. I don't know, I just got a really good gut feeling about it. Because I had toured another school in the city, DePaul, that I got into
Mm.
as well. Like for journalism too. And I don't know, like it's a great school, but I just didn't get that good gut feeling this is where I want to go. So once I entered Columbia and just met everyone and stuff like that, it just, I don't know, it fit and it worked.
Now, are you from Chicago?
I am, yeah. I grew up
Okay.
here, in the suburbs. Never lived in the city. I commuted to school, which was fun.
Hmm.
Um, But yeah, I lived overseas for a while in Kuwait because of my dad's job. But like we'd visit here in the summer and all of that. But yeah, and then when we ended up moving back to the US, we moved back to Chicago. So
Okay. I like that. No, fun
yeah.
fact, that's where I was born. I was born in Chicago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so Cook County Hospital, I don't know if you're familiar with that.
Hmm.
That was the hospital I was born at.
Okay.
My mother and father are both from Chicago. Um, and I was seriously considering, they grew up there, born there, they
Mhm.
grew up there. But I grew up in the West Coast. I grew up in San Diego.
Okay.
Um, but still have a lot of family out there on different sides, south side, west side, of Chicago. And I'm a huge Cubs fan. Love Wrigley Field. Um, one of my favorite places to go. Another fun fact is that I was considering going to Northwestern or DePaul. So when you
Hmm.
said DePaul,
Yeah.
obviously we know Northwestern is one of the top schools in journalism, along with Syracuse, probably Missouri, um, some other schools as well. But DePaul was another one that kind of piqued my interest as well. I think what shied me away from them was the cost, probably financially, definitely shied me away from them. It was just a lot. It was expensive. I mean, they're not state schools, and Northwestern was also the same as that as well. But I love Chicago, and so if I'm ever there, I'm gonna have to hit you up because we definitely gotta
Oh, for
try
sure.
some deep dish pizza. I don't know if you like that, but
I'm not,
I,
I mean, I don't mind it. It's not like, oh my God, I love it. And it's not that I hate it. So but
I feel it.
I don't blame you about DePaul. My husband went to DePaul for accounting and yeah, the cost, I'm familiar with it. So
I feel that. Okay,
yeah.
that's what's up. Awesome. I got some favorite things that I like
Mhm.
to ask all my guests that I have on this platform. So I'm gonna ask you some favorite questions, and then off the rip, you just tell me what some of your favorite things are. Are you ready?
All right, I'm ready.
All right, here we go. Favorite thing you like to cook?
I don't really like cooking. So, but when I have to, which is basically all the time, I like making fajitas.
Mm, okay, I like that. So the husband cooks, is what you say.
No, it's me because he refuses to learn, and I had to learn because I didn't want us eating out all the time. So
Right. That's what I was saying. You said you didn't like to, so I assumed that he was somebody that
I do
okay,
it
but
reluctantly. Let's just say
okay,
that.
okay. I digress. I feel it. Let me transition. I'll ask you a bonus question. What is your favorite meal that you like to eat?
Ooh, hmm. Can I say my favorite dessert instead? Because, like, I
Sure,
don't know.
sure.
I'll eat in general. Like, I eat anything mostly. I'm not super, super picky. Like, I like
Okay.
seafood, I like steak, I like chicken, but I'm obsessed with s'mores and like anything s'mores dessert, like on a cookie, like crumble cookies is running a s'mores cookie this week. I had to have it. Any dessert is s'mores, like, way to my heart.
So another fun fact for you: I've never had a
Okay.
s'more.
No way.
I'm serious. I've never
Oh my
had
God.
one.
Well, if you
Um,
come here, we'll make you some s'mores.
okay, please do, because
Very easy.
matter of fact, we're gonna deem it and say when I come back to Chicago, because I always visit family. So when I do come
Mhm.
back to Chicago, I'm gonna try my first s'more. How about
You
that?
got, I mean, you can literally do it right now. It's the easiest, probably one of the easiest desserts to make.
It is. It is, no question. I've heard that,
It
but
was
I my family they've made it before.
Yeah.
But I've just never had the desire to try it.
Oh my God.
It's just one of those things that there's other desserts that crave my taste. So that's pretty much it. But like I
Okay.
said, when first time trying it, I'll try it with you. If I like it, continue to do it. How about that?
You got
Let's rock with it.
it.
Favorite concert you've ever attended?
Ooh, recently me and my sisters-in-law all went to it was like Pitbull, Enrique Iglesias, and Ricky
Ricky
Martin.
Martin.
Yes. The trio tour, I forgot what they called it, but that was so fun. And we love Pitbull. Like, we put Pitbull songs at like all our parties and stuff like that. So it was a real treat.
Yeah, I mean Pitbull, International Love, Timber, Hey Baby.
So many
I mean,
good
it goes on
songs.
and on. But Enrique is really good too. People sleep on him, but he's good. He's solid. So glad
Yes.
you guys went to that concert and had a good time. So that's
Thank
what's up. Favorite city you've ever traveled to?
you. Um, I've traveled quite a bit. Um, I would say southern Spain. I know Barcelona, and Madrid kind of get like all the attention, but if you're ever in Spain and you go to like Granada, and like some other southern Spain cities, they're absolutely beautiful. They're quieter. And I don't know, I love the nature and the historic aspect of it there. I love Barcelona too, but definitely southern Spain. Or I'd
Okay.
say Athens too. Beautiful.
Mm, okay.
Yeah.
So we got Spain and Greece. I like
Yes.
that. Okay, that's what's up. Let me ask you, favorite sport you like to watch on TV and favorite sport that you like to attend in person?
Um, does like gymnastics and figure skating count?
They are sports. Absolutely. Yes. Yes. I'm not going to disrespect anybody that does that.
Okay.
No, they are sports.
I don't want you to get mad at me now, but I'm really not a sports person at all. So the closest I will get is gymnastics and figure skating. Like I love watching them during the Olympics and stuff like that. Um Watching, I would probably say the same. Like the one sporting event I went to was a Bears game with my husband. So, and he got that as a birthday gift. So can't really compare it to anything else. It was fun, I guess. I was there for the
Okay.
vibes, more for the sporting
Okay.
vibes,
No, that's
not really
cool.
for the
Listen,
game.
I want you to be honest here now. I want you to be honest,
I'm
right? So
sorry.
that is okay. That's okay. That's all right. I'm a sports guy, so I definitely have
Of
to throw
course.
sports questions in there. So that's for sure. Last of the favorites,
Mhm.
favorite restaurant.
Chili's. I don't know why. Like, I mean, I know
Hmm.
why. I feel like they have a variety. I like their nachos. I like their mozzarella sticks, their egg rolls, their wings, their fajitas. I told you, fajita. Chili's. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Chili's is definitely the move. No question about that. I love their three for, I think they got, I don't know if they have that 3 for 10, but I love that
Yeah.
3 for 10 menu that they
I
got.
think
It's
it's
pretty
like
cool.
three for me now because like it's like still three things but a little more for than $10, but yeah.
I feel it. I love it. I love that. That's something that I truly love at Chili's for sure. I want to know now, what do you do on a day-to-day basis, right? Like, what is your job function? Well, when you wake up, what is it that you do, and what is some of the favorite pieces that you've written and why?
Um, do you mind if I go back to my previous job first and
Sure.
then
Yeah.
okay, cool.
Yeah. Absolutely. Go ahead.
Um, so do you know Naperville?
Absolutely, Naperville.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. So, after I graduated, while I was in school, I had interned at a business magazine. And then after I graduated, I stayed with them for about a year. And then my first job was in Naperville. Not everyone knows this, but they have a small community station there.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I went to school for broadcast journalism. And while at NCTV, I was a news reporter. So did not start off with entertainment, but that was okay because it was great. I learned how to interview people. I learned how to edit my packages, film everything, like get the B-roll, all of that.
Sure.
You really did everything yourself, and it was a really, really good experience. And just because it's a community station, I got to tell a lot of really great community stories and meet people and do things that I wouldn't have done, otherwise if I didn't get to meet them or do those stories. So I took like a little, I'm a bit of a like non-traditional journalist because
Mhm.
you go off, you start in the like a small market and work your way up. But I
Sure.
always knew that eventually I wanted to do more like entertainment news and entertainment reporting, but I had such an amazing time at NCTV, learned so much. Um, then while I was at NCTV on the side, I was like a freelance writer for Fansided is the company, and then they have like over
Yep.
300 websites, and so
Oh,
two of
yeah.
them are Hidden Remote and Netflix Life, which I write for now. So I was a freelance writer for them on the side because the entertainment itch was always there. Um, and they hire within a lot of times. And so when I saw the job opening, I applied and, thankfully I got it. So that's how that happened. and I love it. Sometimes I miss the like being out in the field and like meeting new people and stuff like that because this is more, a writing focused job. But
Right.
what I love about it is like we write reviews and recaps and opinion pieces, so it's not all just like straight news. We get to have some creative freedom and give our opinions, and there's always something that you really like or you really don't like or whatever about a movie or show, and then there's going to be other fans that you find online, maybe the same or differing opinion, and they want to fight you, but that's okay. That means you're doing something right. Um,
Right.
so I think that's my favorite part of the job. So basically, I just get up, my editors will have kind of like, we have strategies for certain shows or networks and streamers. There's so much to choose from now. And then, we'll have like trending things of the day and kind of see what's going on, what's happening, how we can react to it or report on it. We'll do like traditional news pieces as well. And I just write. I write all day and it's fun and I love it. And I love shows and movies, but more television shows. But I just get to do that. And then it's really fun when like there's press days and we have a chance to interview like showrunners or actors, things like that. So there's that like bit of still interviewing video aspect to it that sometimes I miss. So it's always fun when I get to do that. So that's really my day, lots and lots of writing.
I love it. Is there any interviews coming up that you can talk about that you have on the horizon?
Um, Nothing finalized yet. We're still working on one, so I just don't want to say it just in case it doesn't end up happening.
Sure,
Um,
sure.
but I can share some people I have spoken to before. Jake Johnson just had a new Hulu movie come out called Self-Reliance, so I got to talk to him about it, and it was also his directorial debut, so
Okay.
that was really fun. Um, Kunal Nanjiani and Annalie Ashford. Um, I don't know if you know Josh Dallas from Manifest and Once Upon a Time. Jennifer Morrison, because she directed Dr. Death season 2. That was on Peacock. So
I've heard of
yeah,
that. I've heard of that show.
yeah, it's a very good, intense show. So yeah, those are a few people. And then yeah, like showrunners and stuff like that. Sometimes we'll be able to talk to.
Okay. That now I was thinking in my mind as I before I get to this next question. Obviously, I know you don't watch sports, but I do know you know Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
Everybody
Yes.
knows who she is, and she's dating this high profile football player who happens to play for the Kansas City Chiefs and Travis Kelce. They're going to the Super Bowl, and the Super Bowl is in a couple weeks in February, but also the Grammys are in February as well. So I don't know if that's something that you're going to be writing about, but that could be another trending topic story of them talking about Taylor and the Grammys and Vegas and stuff like that.
No, for sure. We have a Grammy strategy and we were just brainstorming posts for the Super Bowl as well. And there was a lot of Taylor Swift in there, let's just say. We were like, okay, guys, we need to like be fair. Like Usher is the performer at the Super Bowl, so we
Yeah,
need to talk about him as well. So don't worry, we're
sure.
not forgetting about Usher either.
That's right. He has a Vegas residency there. Sorry, and he's going to be the halftime performer as well. And the Super Bowl is in Vegas. There's just
Mhm.
a lot of this, correlation and coinciding going on here with everything going on. So entertainment and sports, they seem to always correlate with each other pretty well. So I
Yeah.
like that. But it leads me to a great question, to a great segue of a question, I should say, and that's mental health, right? When you're doing a lot of writing, when you're doing a lot of journalistic type of things, sometimes your mental health can be affected because you're going to have love for the writing that you do, but you're also going to have some hate. Can't have one without the other, that's for sure. And there's going to be people that's always going to have an opinion about what you do, how you do it, and this, that, and the third. I ask you, how is your mental health doing? And when you do struggle with mental health, what do you do to try to get it back on the right track?
Um, in this business, it can be hard to have a work-life balance.
Yeah,
Sometimes we're doing like super odd hours and breaking news, all of that stuff. But when you can, you kind of have to find a way to have that work-life balance. And like when it's your day off, like it's your day off. Of course, there's circumstances where you might be called in and all of that, but really disconnect yourself. Like if, there's no emergency or anything happening, like try not to be checking in and like see like what's going on at work and things like that. Because you need to turn your brain off a little bit from
sure.
that stuff. I do remember at NCTV, I've done a couple of stories about kids that had cancer, and unfortunately, they passed away. And that was really hard because I hadn't done like one or two stories about them. Like I was kind of following along, a few stories every once in a while about them. Like there's the community was doing something for them or raising money or whatever it was. That was really tough. And it it feels, I feel kind of bad for saying this, but you take it, you bask in those feelings for a little bit, but you can't let it overwhelm you, and you just have to kind of
Yep,
train yourself to do that. um because unfortunately you're gonna have to deal with those kinds of stories again. It doesn't just stop there. So that's my thing. Like I try to just disconnect and try to like take a break when I can. Sometimes even during the day, when you're writing, you're like the words aren't coming out anymore. So you got to just step away and come back with like a fresh set of eyes again, to be able to do what you're doing. I will say at this company that I'm currently at, Fansided is really good about work-life balance. Just in terms of like hours and like days off and things like that. I think when you're more in the news reporting or sports, it's a little more intense. And you can use that to fuel you, but sometimes you also just need to take a step back and think about yourself and think about your mental health. Because like that, once you are stable and in the right mindset, you're gonna put out better work. So
absolutely. Touching on a few things that you said, and I absolutely agree with everything that you said. It was beautiful, beautifully said. No question. Yes, I think when I first started with the sports, which was a few years ago, you want to be the yes guy. You want to be the person that shows that you kind of prove you in prove it mode. You're proving yourself that you're reliable. I can handle it. Yes, yes, yes. You're saying yes all the time, even to extra stuff, because you're in prove it mode. I think as you go along in the years and then the monotony of doing this day in, day out, you start to realize that you really do got to create some boundaries. You really do got to set some boundaries for yourself because some companies will take advantage of you saying yes all the time and they'll come to you. And if you don't, like you said, disconnect, you'll burn out. And that's a lot. I say that to a lot of people and I say it to a lot of college students that I talk to on here because there's a few college students I've talked to on here that are in college, they're taking classes, and they'll ask me questions either online or offline about, well, how is it working in the real world? How is it? Well, it's one of those things where you have to come in and you have to realize that you have to put the work in, right? It's not all glamorous at times when you're working, right? Just because you see people, whether you're doing broadcast, writing, or print, you got to put the work in. That's number one. And then number two, you also have to have an understanding with the hierarchies. You got to have an understanding of, yeah, you want to prove that you are reliable, that you can do the job, that they made the right choice in hiring you, but you also have to prove, you also have to, sorry, not prove, but you also have to be aware of your mental health. What can you handle? What can you do? Like you said, disconnect. Um, you got to know when to disconnect and say no. And that's something that I typically like to talk to college students about, recent graduates about. The people already in the industry too have told me, hey, I burnt out because of this reason, because I didn't know how to disconnect. I didn't know how to do that. And they took advantage. So I really love that you said that, and I really love that you. I'm not sure if you was always like that, and maybe you came to that decision, but I'm glad that you did come to that decision because it's the right one to make.
Thank you. Yeah. I mean, you do hear a lot sometimes. I think like when you're in school, even if you do an internship or no matter how much like hands-on experience you're getting, it's not like being in the workplace and
It's not.
it's intense. It's more than you think. And like even for me, to be honest, like again, being at a community station, it wasn't as traditional as like I said, if I went to more of a market station, and like, worked my way up. So I know like it would have been even probably a little more intense there. So you hear people like a lot of journalists will go into like advertising or PR and stuff like that. They go into more of like a broad communications
Yes.
field. Um, Not that, I love journalism and all of that, but I think it takes a certain type of person to be in it. So,
I was just about to say that you got to have the right mentality. You got to love what you're doing. You really gotta love because you can't do it for the money, you can't do it for the glam because it's just not there when you start out. And for some, it may never get there. So it's just about how much do you love it, how much do you want to be around it, how much can you take, and then also to before I get to the next question, you mentioned something about doing news. I
mhm,
think for me, the reason why I chose sports is because there's always a decision. There's always a win or a loss. There's stories in sports, human interest stories. I love doing that. But hard news was something I had to really pull away from. And because I don't want to do hard news, it's just very hard for me to stick a microphone in somebody's face after something tragic has happened. You have a great mindset though of how you dealt with it. Yes, you have to bask in it for a little bit and you exhale and move on because you have to be able to have that professionalism at the end of the day. But I know myself, regardless of how professional I am, I'll probably take that home with me. And I don't want to take a whole lot of hard news stories home, right? I don't want to take home fires burning or people being shot and killed or just hard news stories like that because I would take it home.
yeah.
And that's when lives change. And when you can see it up front, people's lives change when those tragedies happen and hard news happen. So I'm like, okay, let me go to sports run. I played sports. Yes, hard stories come in sports too, but not as often as news. So that's why I went the route of that as well. So people need to understand if you're getting into that field, that mindset that you said, bask in it, have empathy, understand that those things happen, but don't let it overwhelm you. And I love how you said that.
Yeah,
So
thank you. Yeah, I was also lucky. I was the weekend reporter at NCTV. So um to way to kind of like balance that, it was nice because I would say like most of my work, or a lot of it was like the fun events or like what's going
mhm,
on in the community or like a fun thing at like the children's museum or whatever like that. So I was lucky in that aspect. And I think that helped balance it out for me too, in terms of like the hard news and then like the fun event
absolutely.
kind of family friendly stuff. I think that really helped, yeah, just balance it out and for my mental health too.
I love it. I love that. We came to the portion of the show now where we do this or that. So
Okay.
basically what I do is I throw two things at you and you get to decide which one to choose, this or that. Are you with me?
All right, I am.
All right, here we go. So first off, I want to ask you, do you eat chicken?
Yes.
Okay. So first question is Popeyes or KFC?
Popeyes.
We already off to a good start.
Like, no argument there. I answered
We
it
off to
so
a
fast.
good start. I love it. Okay, this next question has to do with chicken. Flavors, barbecue or lemon pepper?
Lemon pepper.
Okay. Bone in or boneless when it comes to chicken wings?
Conan, for sure.
Oh, so you like to get messy.
My husband likes boneless, and I always make him order bone-in at restaurants because no.
Shout out to Asia's husband, because I like your husband already. I'm a boneless type of dude too, so I love that. I love it.
I know, he's like, it's so much cleaner, boneless. I'm like, I don't know. I like the feeling of the bone in. I don't know what to tell you.
I feel it, and let me also for that. Let me also clarify. I do like bone in wings too now, but if
Yeah.
you gave me a choice, then it's boneless for sure.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, I'm with that. Okay, these next three questions have to do with music. Okay, which concert would you rather attend in person? Would you rather go see Alicia Keys or Beyonce?
Beyonce.
Okay, so you like the Beehive. That's what you're saying. Okay.
Yes.
All
Yes.
right. Which concert would you rather attend? Would you rather attend um I would say Carrie Underwood or Christina Aguilera?
Christina Aguilera.
Okay. All right. I like that. I like that. Here we go. We're gonna do another one. Which concert would you rather attend? These are two R&B women, Monica or Brandy.
Brandy.
You sure?
Yes.
You didn't sound so sure, so I had to ask that
I
question.
mean, I don't know. No, I think I'll stick to that answer.
Okay, Brandy. Okay, here we go.
Okay.
Now, which sport would you rather play? I had to throw a sports question in there.
Okay.
Bowling or badminton?
Bowling.
Are you a good bowler?
I'm decent. I don't, sometimes it depends. So
Hmm.
sometimes it's like in the gutter every time. And then we just went bowling a couple weeks ago and I got a couple strikes. So it depends on
Okay.
the day how well I'm doing.
Now when you got those strikes, did you have like some cold beverages in you too?
I had some strawberry lemonade. I don't, I don't know if that
Technically,
makes you focus,
yeah,
but
I mean, technically that is a cold beverage. I'm sure you had ice,
technically. Hmm.
so I'm sure. But
I don't drink, so I think the sugar in the
might
strawberry
have
lemonade
been.
gave me
It
the
might have been. That's it. I love me some strawberry lemonade. That's for sure. But yes, I love that. Bowling is great. That's awesome. Okay. This next question has to do with cities,
Hmm.
right? Now, which city would you rather go visit? Would you rather visit New York City or would you rather go to Miami, Florida?
New York City.
Oh,
I've
okay.
been to both actually already. I like New York. It was fun, super busy,
Yeah.
but I think I it's like busier than Chicago, but I still had the vibe. Like I knew what I was getting myself into just because of Chicago. So I think if
Right. It's similar. They have some
you come
similarities
from a big
between the two
city,
cities.
you know, you're more used to it. You can handle it a
Sure.
little better.
Sure. Absolutely. Just the rats at Penn Station, they're a little different. That's no question.
I
Uh,
saw rats last time waiting for the subway here, so it's okay.
oh, waiting for the L subway.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, come on,
There was,
Chicago, we gotta do better than that.
I
Oh my
know, I
goodness.
know.
All right.
It's become a problem.
Well, I feel you on that. Here's the next two questions. Next two questions are you have to pick one to eliminate. Okay.
Okay.
So first, you said you're a dessert person.
Hmm.
So here we go. So we're gonna take s'mores out of it because we know you ain't gonna eliminate s'mores.
Okay.
So here we go. We got A, honey buns, B, cakes. So that's any kind of cake, right? Cupcakes, any kind of cake. C, cookies. D, ice cream. Which one are you eliminating that you cannot eat ever again in life?
Cakes.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, I'm fine with cake, but I'm not like a big cake person. Like I don't usually go out specifically to buy a cake or a cupcake or whatever. Like I'll go out and buy all those other things, but
It would have been ice cream for me. Ice cream,
really?
for
No.
sure.
I love
For
ice
sure.
cream.
Because I'm not going to eliminate cookies. Cookies are too good. There's too many cookies that are really good. And then Cakes. I love cupcakes, pound cake, bundt cake, any kind of cake.
Okay.
And then honey buns. I'm certainly not going to eliminate those because those that's my favorite.
Yeah.
So, no question on that. Okay. This next one is another one. You have now. I don't know. Are you a chip person? Do you like chips?
Yeah, I'll eat chips.
Okay. So these are the four different chips that I'm going to throw at you, and you got to eliminate one of them. So
Right.
A is Cheetos. Doesn't matter if it's puffy, crunchy, or hot. B is Doritos. C is Fritos. D is Ruffles. Which chip are you eliminating that you will never eat again?
Burritos.
I'm with you on that.
I don't like
I
them.
absolutely agree. Hands down, Fritos. I asked that question to a couple other people on this, and one person said Ruffles. I said, you got to be losing your effing mind. Something wrong with you. There's no way I'm
No
getting rid of
way.
Ruffles. No
Waffles are
way.
so
Absolutely. Yes. You did pretty good on that, by the way. Yeah,
thank you.
you did pretty good. I like that.
Thank you.
Now, the next question has to do with if you wasn't a journalist or a writer, what career path would you have chosen and why?
Ooh, maybe in another life, social work would have worked out for me. I'd say maybe like an interior designer. I
I can
love,
see that.
yeah, you can see the decor here. Like
Mhm.
every season, I love to just do home decor stuff, and I'm like super passionate about it. Like this doesn't look like it took a long time, but it's like puzzle pieces. You take everything you have and you have to figure out what works and like how it looks good. I don't know if everyone will understand that. I might just be a little bit of a crazy person, but like that took me like 4 hours, sorry, 3 hours to do, like just to figure out everything. And
Wow.
I was determined not to buy anything new because it's like, okay, I already have a lot of decor. So I don't know, I think like interior design, like I love home stuff, and I don't know if I'm that talented, but I think I have a good eye for it. So
No, it looks good. It really does. I could totally see that. Looking in the background, I was like, yeah, interior design, definitely. I was thinking she would say something like that. For me, it would be theater for sure. Huge in the plays, huge in the musicals. I love that. Love
yeah.
that kind of stuff. If it wasn't like, I have a minor in coaching because I too also love children. So hopefully get to coach like a team one day. That'd be pretty dope. But I got my undergrad in journalism and emergent media.
Okay.
Getting my master's in professional writing, which will happen in 25 spring. But
Yes.
definitely, if I wasn't doing writing or journalism, it'd be theater for sure.
Can you sing? Do you have a good singing voice?
Yes, I would like to think so for sure. I
Nice.
would.
See, that's one
I would
talent
like.
I wish I had. I wish I could sing.
Uh,
Yeah.
well, maybe offline, I'll definitely do something for you. How about that?
Okay, there you go. I thought
Definitely.
no, for a second I grimaced because I thought you were going to tell me to try to sing, and I was like, no, that's not happening.
No, 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 absolutely not. Yeah, no, I'll probably do something for you offline for sure. This next question that I have is about advice.
Hmm.
Now, what is some advice that you would give someone that wants to start writing? What is some advice that someone has gave you that you've held on to that's been influential in your career?
Um, I'd say, especially if you're doing broadcast journalism,
Mhm.
you need to not be afraid to sometimes make a fool out of yourself on camera.
Okay.
Um, and not necessarily on purpose, but you're gonna have to just do things. So like I did a story about like aerial yoga, and I did a stand up trying to do the aerial yoga. I
Mhm.
definitely did not look graceful at all. But you do it for the stand up, right?
Right.
Sometimes you're out there live reporting, something happens, you're gonna slip, or it's raining and your hair is like all frizzy and stuff like that. So I think you just have to learn to not take yourself seriously, just learn to laugh it off, because it's gonna happen and it's okay. Like it's not a big deal if you learn to just be cool about it, laugh it off, move on, you're fine. And really, no one's gonna be like making fun of you. You just overthink it yourself because we all want to look perfect on camera, but sometimes it's not gonna happen. Um, Piece of advice. Ooh. See, I wish you gave me these questions before so that I could think about it and give you a good answer. Because of
But this
course,
is great. This is
once
on
you
the
ask
fly kind of
something,
stuff. I love it.
all the answers fly out of your head.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, I would say, going back to what we were saying, just you have to have passion for it, no matter what you're doing. But especially in this business, it can be a lot. It can be a little overwhelming, but if you find the balance and your passion is there, then you're gonna have so much fun. Like I've had so much fun doing everything that I've done, whether that was the reporting or writing. It's just so much fun. And when you get to that place, like it's just the best feeling.
I love it. Talking to the talented, the passionate, the driven, the beautiful Aysha Ashley here on my Work Hard, Play Harder podcast. And you gave great answers to all the questions. This has been really fun getting to know you a little bit. We've reached that portion though that now I would need two other names from you that you think that will be able to hop on here and talk a little bit about themselves like you have on my podcast.
Ooh. Um, do they have to be like super experienced um
No, no,
individuals,
they
or
could just be they could be writers. They don't have to be writers. They could be any people that you feel that would be dope to be on the podcast. You got to help me get them on.
um I'd say my former executive director, Liz, she has so much experience. She really like helped mentor me. Um, yeah, she was just amazing. And I learned so much from her. And then I'd say my former producer as well, Kim Pierce. She worked in New York, and she's just like, she is so good at this business. Like she can write a package in like 5 minutes where it would take us so much longer. She really has an eye for it. And yeah, I think they're both just amazing women, doing so great in this industry. And I think they would be really interesting to talk to.
Absolutely. Shout out to Liz and Kim for doing their job and being experienced and being wonderful as well. Hopefully they're on LinkedIn and I can definitely link up with them for sure. I feel like I've gotten to know you a little bit. Yes, you have an associate's degree, if I'm not mistaken, and a bachelor's, if I'm not mistaken. 2 degrees. We're gonna pump you up. We're gonna give you some flowers, okay?
Okay.
But you also do a great job with Fansided. You're also very passionate about writing. Obviously, entertainment is something that you love to do. You're gonna be very busy in the upcoming weeks with a lot of different entertainment stuff coming up. I felt like I got to know you a little bit. You're not a sport person at all, which is lovely. That's great. That's awesome. That really is. Because, sports people like myself, sometimes we like to differentiate. We like to come home and talk about something different. And then
Yeah.
we just don't want to just talk sports all the time. Like, I'm sure there's times when you come home, entertainment is great. But if there was like a different topic that you could talk about at times, you'd probably be like, okay, let's hop on that. Let's talk about
Yeah. Yeah,
it. Right.
for sure.
For sure, right? So that's pretty cool. It's just been a pleasure really talking to you and getting to know you a little bit and having you hop on my podcast as I always do. Um as we conclude, I ask, is there anything else you would like to add before we conclude?
Um, no, I just want to say thank you for inviting me to do this. It's interesting. We're the ones used to asking the questions, so it's interesting being able to answer them this time around. So it was really fun. Thank you so much.
No, no problem. Listen, you take care. Enjoy your Tuesday night. You definitely got a new fan in me. I'm looking forward to reading more of your pieces and getting to know you even more. So, again, take care. Thank you so much for hopping on, and we'll be in touch.
All righty. Thank you so much.
No problem.
Bye.
Bye bye.